Who is this Father? This is ground zero for the kind of confidence and trust we need, because it is the Father's love that gushes with grace. He doesn't just love you, He likes you. Even in your immaturity, He is satisfied with who you are. Do you know that? Can you receive that in your weakness? Can you be fortified in love? In Luke 15, it's one of the most brilliant images. We call it the parable of the prodigal son. Prodigal meaning he's extravagant. The son spent too much and extravagantly wasted his inheritance. It's really the story of the prodigal father who extravagantly loves in spite of that. So you know the story. The son comes along, the younger brother. He says, give me my inheritance now. He squanders it. By the end, loose living, wasted his inheritance, partying, all the stuff. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, right? He wastes it. By the end, he's living with the pigs. And he finally kind of comes to his senses and said, I can at least go back and be a servant in my father's house and have a better existence than this. So when he came to himself, he said, how many of my father's hired servants, Luke 15, I'm reading verse 17, have more than enough bread, but here I am perishing with hunger with these pigs. I will arise and go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Do you hear all the right repentance? All the right penance? All the right emotional hand-wringing and gnashing of teeth? This guy, we would say, is truly repentant. I'm not saying that's wrong. He really is repentant. But it hardly matters to the Father. It's His return that matters. The metanoia, the change, was in the moment where He said, I've got a better moment here. It's still not perfect knowledge. It's just a change. And He's there preparing His script. Dad, man, I am so unworthy. I know I can't even call you Dad right now because I blew the inheritance. By the way, to ask for the father's inheritance in that culture, it was so insulting because in that culture, you didn't receive the inheritance till the father died. So if you asked for it in advance, what you were saying was, I don't care about you and I wish you were dead. Give me my inheritance early. I wish you were dead. Now he's coming back and he's preparing his good law script. He's preparing his good penance script for why he's not worthy. He'll do the work of a servant, right? I'll come back and serve if you'll just let me exist in a corner of the house with the rest of the slaves, no longer worthy. He arose and came to his father, but while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion and ran and embraced him and kissed him. Luke 15 has all kinds of lost things. There's lost sheep, there's lost coins, there's this lost son. All emphasize the delight of the finder. A missionary in Lebanon, in a local culture that was still very much steeped in these traditions, is the one that informed me that what the son was really saying is, I wish you were dead. But the second thing that we don't read into it, men wore long tunics. And the older you were, the more stately and measured your walk. Young men rush around. Old men have earned the right to take their time. You walk with the kind of grace and stature of your age. It's not easy to run in a long robe. What this means is this stately old man humiliated himself. He's already been told by his son that he wishes he were dead. He's waiting daily, looking. Is my son coming today? Is my son coming today? The moment he sees him, he hikes his robe up. You don't run unless you hike your robe up above your knees. He says, I don't care what my love looks like to everybody else. I'm a crazy father in love. I'm a crazy father in love. My lost children have been living with the pigs. I got more money. I got more inheritance. The son had no idea how wealthy the father was. Extravagant riches of wisdom and kindness and grace. He hikes up his robe and he sprints to his son who's prepared the law script. He still tries to do it. The son says to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven before you. I'm doing my penance, Dad. I've sinned against heaven before you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. The law has stripped the son of the identity because he's in full performance mode and his performance blew it. So he's recounting all the script of law necessary to persuade the father out of what the Father has already given and is committed to, which is love beyond any performance. Dad says, please be quiet. Just hush. You don't even know me. If you knew me, you would understand. I'm crazy in love. I'm going to do everything necessary, and I'm sprinting. It says he fell on he fell on him and embraced him. And the word actually, it's a tackle. Dad is taking his son down with love. There's going to be no doubt in this. The son's probably there on the ground. It's like, yeah, Dad, I'll be a servant. Dad's like, just be quiet. I've prepared a feast. He says, bring the best robe. Bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. Kill the fatted calf. Let's celebrate. My son was dead. He's alive again. He was lost. Now he's found. They begin to celebrate. This is the story of the prodigal father. You can't measure his love. You can't keep score in a way that you can be too deep in debt. He is unashamed. He's wild. He's unstately. He's out of balance. You can't formulate the kind of rules that can describe that love. You box him in and blow it, and he'll break out of the box to get you.